If you're in Seattle, and you need to buy or sell a home, we'll be right there for you. Because we're the realtors that you can trust. So go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Hey, you guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 879 of the Ron and Don Show. It's so bright in here. Got to put my shades on. Yeah, we are back live on Spotify, also YouTube, and on our social channels. He's Ron Upshaw, I'm Don O'Neill, and we are back live in the Les Schwab studios.
What is up, Ron and Don Nation?
Hey, coming up on the Ron and Don Show, we got to talk about the best hot dog in America or the world, because here comes the 4th of July, and everybody wants a hot dog. And every time I see these hot dog eating championship, these boiled hot dogs, it looks like the world's worst thing. And then you take the bun, you stick it in the water. I don't get it, right? Is Nathan's really the best hot dog in America? I don't think so. You have some thoughts? I have some thoughts. Hopefully Matt has some thoughts. Matt, do you have thoughts? We'll get to it. I don't want your thoughts right now. That's called, what is that called?
Foreshadowing?
No, it's tease. It's more than foreshadowing. It's a tease. We're teasing the people because people are thinking, I don't know if I'm going to hang in there. And then when they heard that Matt off the mic, might have a thought about a hot dog. They're not going anywhere. Also, Ron wants to complain about hiking. He bought all this hiking stuff, and he went hiking this weekend with our friend Kanan, and boy, did he not have a good time, but he's going to tell a story where he pretends like it's a good time. But a better time, really, is sitting around the campfire having us some more, right? We'll get to it. What is that?
That's a tease.
It's a tease. Another tease. It's what I do. Before we get to that, though, let's get to this. It's time for the news as we see it here on the Ron and Don Show. The news as we see it. All right, let's talk about the news as we see it. My son goes to a high school. It's kind of weird where they don't have a field. We're familiar with this because we helped a school build a field down at Cleveland, right?
Well, there was a, what are they called? A referendum or a vote that happened.
There's a levy, yeah.
On a levy years ago that said each high school in the Seattle School District was going to get a field system and some upgrades for the athletic and the field. And so that money was voted on, it passed, the money was allocated, and so they started going high school by high school and renovating the fields and upgrading the stadiums and the stands. And so it went through almost every single high school except for a couple, and one of them, with I think your son's school situation is, the field had been sort of taken away by the community when the school was not around.
Well, down at Cleveland, the problem was it was considered a environmental disaster, and so the kids weren't allowed on the field. So they had this field they weren't allowed to play on, and so what happened is we found out kids there were walking to football practice. They'd walk 17 minutes because a lot of times their buses didn't show up. You have to have a booster club that will pay for a bus. A bus is $450, right? I know this because I've been paying for buses now for my son's high school. You have to raise that money because they're in the same situation. The difference is at Cleveland, they had the field. The money had been set aside. We went after the district, and thanks to our listeners and pulling a lot of strings and some help from the Seattle Seahawks, we got a beautiful field built at Cleveland. Same field you see at Roosevelt, same field that you see when you go to Ballard. It was supposed to be built at Cleveland, and the school district just didn't do it. It's the home of a lot of black and brown children, and because of that, I think sometimes they are forgotten. And just like they say in New Orleans, it's a city that care forgot. Cleveland was a high school that care forgot. And so what they do, like at Cleveland, for instance, Memorial Stadium was kind of their home field. Of course. Have you been to Memorial Stadium? Last
Not
time,
lately.
I think that we were there together. We saw a Grateful Dead show.
It's been years.
In our 20s. When you go there, it is not in good shape, and they haven't done a great job at maintaining this field. The reason I'm there a lot is my son now goes to a school that was in mothballs for almost 30 years. As that area of town, kind of the Fremont area and the Queen Anne area, is it exploded. A lot of tech people have been having kids. Those kids have grown up. Now it is the smallest school with the biggest population. It's heading towards 2,000 kids. In fact, when you go there, There's not enough room. There's not enough chairs. They have a spin bike room. There's not enough spin bikes. And then there's no fields. There's not a baseball field. There's not a soccer field. There's not a football field.
Do they not exist, or they used to exist?
Used to exist because there's a park that's catty corner, and also part of when you go to Green Lake, kind of the Woodlawn area, that used to be their fields. When they mothballed the school, what happened is Parks came in and they took those fields. Now they use those fields to rent them out, let's say, to parents that want to come and play Frisbee. They rent those out, and now these fields generate a lot of money. Also, during COVID, when people started taking their dogs to these fields, the Park Service actually likes it because it means people can't sleep in the fields because people then become afraid of people walking their dogs. So even though they're not dog parks, it's kind of a way to police the fields, which makes some sense to me. So anyway, there's been this internal and external fight to get the fields back. The city or the Parks Department does not want to give so there's lots of things going on right now with those fields. In the meantime, they have to bus. You live in an affluent community where there's a parent like me that's willing to, like, they're getting ready to go to a camp. There's 2 buses. That's $900 a day for those 2 buses in order to be able to go to and fro from camp. If you can't afford the buses, you have to walk or you can't practice. That's why you go to a Cleveland game. These kids, amazing athletes, but I went to see them. They had missed 17 practices. They get wiped off the field because you go to other, like on the east side, have you seen those fields? Or even the Ballard field that you'll go see? There's some tremendous fields out there these kids don't have. So then your home field becomes, in the same way that for Cleveland, their home field was Memorial. Our home field is Memorial. We practice a lot at Memorial. When you go there, they had to lock the and this is down, if people don't know, by the Space Needle, which the reason they built the Space Needle is because that area was a slum. Then they went in since then, and they've kind of built that area up since the World's Fair in '62. Memorial Stadium used to be a crown jewel. They've gone in and they've said, okay, and this is actually the Lewicki brothers that control the Kraken. They say, we'll help come fix Memorial Stadium, which is actually tearing it down. We'll build a new stadium. So it's kind of this showpiece. My fear is going to be they're going to do this, and then the kids are going to get kicked out of that too, right? They're just happy to have a field. But even going to the bathroom there, people used to sleep in the bathrooms. They haven't cleaned them up. It feels that way. You sit in the bleachers, you better bring a pad because you'll probably get a sliver in your right? It used to be a place for great outdoor concerts. Like we did see the real Grateful Dead with Jerry Garcia there when he wasn't just an ice cream, like the real Jerry Garcia. And Memorial Stadium was pretty phenomenal.
I saw Soundgarden there.
You see Fish there, Soundgarden. Yeah, just it goes on and on. So
let me ask you this real quick. Why can't you take back the field that's catty corner to the high school?
I just explained that for 10 minutes.
But just because someone walks their dog there doesn't mean, does the school not?
Those are the people when they do hearings that show up.
So the school doesn't have jurisdiction.
It's run by the Parks Department.
So the Parks Department took over all the vacant land.
They make money. The same place the dogs are walking, they rent those fields out.
I guess I was thinking that there could be some line of the school saying, hey, we had this first. When the school went in mothballs, the Parks took it over. Thank you for taking it over.
That's the fight I'm in right now.
And so now we're back. We want the field back.
Yeah, we've been trying to get it back.
Serves the kids.
Yeah, we've been back for 6 years. Anyway, this week, he will practice at Memorial Stadium. He'll practice at Woodlawn. He'll practice at Green Lake. And then we go up on a bus, and we have to wait until Ingram is done practicing. We're not even allowed on the field. So the kids will sit in the buses. And then Ingram's always late because they love to do this to Lincoln kids because Lincoln kicked their ass last year in football. And we're going to do it again this year. Anyway, that's Ingram's home field. So they're like, we don't want the kids from Lincoln. In fact, that's where we're practicing tonight. Our kids start practice sometimes at 7 o'clock at night and don't get done until 10 because they're waiting. So back to Memorial Stadium. I'm over at Memorial Stadium the other day, and I've never seen the names of the 800 kids that were part of Seattle Public Schools that died in World War II. And that's why Memorial Stadium was not only built, but dedicated to them. And there's a wall there. Have you ever seen the wall?
I saw the pictures you took of it,
and
I've been there.
When you go to Memorial Stadium, you think that you would see this wall honoring these 800 kids who were no older than my son's name or any of those kids out there playing, right? And instead of playing ball at Memorial Stadium, they're over World War II. And these are kids that died. These are 800 kids that died in World War II. So this is to honor them. The reason you can't see them at night is because all the lights have been broken, destroyed, completely destroyed. There's 2 fountains that no longer work, and those have also been completely destroyed. The reason you can't see the names is because there's a huge hedgerow, and they've allowed these bushes to grow over the names. In order to get to the names, I had to pull the bushes back, and I had to take care of it, and then or take a picture of it. The pictures that I took, and I've been pulling into that parking lot for years. I've been pulling into that parking lot all last year. Well, I park right there, and you cannot see the names because the bush covers it. The lights are gone. The fountains aren't on. And my question is this: we're going to call it Memorial Stadium. What are we going to do to memorialize these 800 kids? Because that's really what the stadium was about anyway. And the stadium by now they're supposed to tear it down. And then there's supposed to be some kind of system where they're going to honor ththese 800 names. And that's the reason why they haven't pulled the stadium down yet. Because like our friend like Felix Bennell, for instance, is like, what are we doing? We're going to tear down Memorial Stadium. We're going to call it Memorial Stadium, but we're not going to memorialize the kids that are supposed to be memorialized. And they're not being memorialized now. Like I want to go over there, and I know I'll get arrested, and I'm probably going to do it anyway, right? I have this amazing saw that can cut through anything. You've seen that saw, right? You've
Like
seen me on that saw. You see me on that saw. I want to go over and take that saw. I want to saw all those bushes down, and then I want to grab a couple of my electrician friends, and I want to fix those lights, because I think that stadium, I don't think they're going to tear that stadium down for years. And right now, like I asked my son the other day, I said, do you know why they call it Memorial Stadium? I asked some of the coaches, do you know why they call this Memorial Stadium? Nobody knows. And I said, have you ever seen the names? They're like, no. And I'm like, come to think of it, I've never seen the names either. When you go there, it is not apparent to you where those names are, and you'll have a really hard time following them. It's a disgrace. I'm ashamed, and I think it's time for some cause radio. And I'm very serious about going over there with a saw. I might do that during the protest, and I'm not even joking, because that's where all the police will be, and cut that bush down, fix those lights, redirect those lights, and honor those kids. Honor those kids that never came home, that never got to play football or soccer on that field. It really, really pisses me off, and I'm very emotional about it. So, fix it, Ron. Fix it. More in a minute. Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's Ron and Don here for Les Schwab. And, you know, their road hazard protection on each and every tire they sell, it's part of America's best tire warranty. It really is the best in the U.S., and it really does set them apart. Let me give you an example. Not too long ago, I went out to my truck, and I went to jump in. I'm taking my son to school, and the next thing you know, the truck won't move because the truck has a flat. So I get on the phone, and I talk to Les Schwab. They have the wheel off. They patch it. They fix it. And the next thing you know, wow, I'm driving my son to school, and we're right on time because of Les Schwab. You really do get more from Les, you guys.
Yeah, it's all part of Les Schwab's unbeatable tire warranty. Best part, the protection is included with every tire Les Schwab sells, and not a pricey add-on like some other places. It's one more reason you get more from Les. Visit your local Les Schwab or book an appointment now at leschwab.com. That's leschwab.com.
Today's show is made possible by your friends Ron and Don. When you're ready to sit down and strategize about your real estate journey, schedule your time with the guys at ronanddonsitdown.com.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Ron and Don. Sorry for getting so emotional about that.
I think it's a good thing to, it's a good project. I don't know if you should do it just bootstrapping, because you're going to need access to electrical panels and stuff. But I saw the pictures that you sent. It's not apparent what it is. And I think there's a way for everyone to win here. I think you can preserve that wall, refurbish it and refurbish the stadium, and maybe have the focus return back to what it was there for in the first place.
Yeah, there's a picture on the wall of what they want to do with that stadium, and I don't see those kids being memorialized. So I'm actually going to reach out to the Liwikis, because they're a part of helping to fix that, to make sure that doesn't fall through the cracks. You know what I really need to do is calm down and go on a hike like you.
Well, I have a question for you. So is your son an alpha, generation alpha? Is that the age group? Because we have Generation Z. Well, there's Millennials, Generation Z, Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. So
He would be considered a Generation Alpha, yeah.
okay, so Generation Alpha. So I was meeting our good friend Kanan for a hike up in Index.
And his daughter Mabel was born 8 hours ahead of my son.
Same day.
Same day, same hospital.
Nice.
So we were on the phone with each other, and this is when I was still like I went down to the bar downstairs while all this was going on, and I said, "Can I have?" And I had never ordered one before. I don't even know if they make them. I'm like, "Can I have a triple Jack and Coke?" And the woman looked at me and she said, "You must be having a baby."
There's a bar in the hospital?
Well, it's not in the hospital.
It was around
it's
the
across
corner of the
street.
hospital?
So yeah, I went down
They should
there.
have a bar in a hospital.
Oh my gosh! And then Kanan kept calling me and doing me play by play of what he was going through with Mabel, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to go down to the bar again. I don't know if I
So
have it.
here's my question, and what my urge is, and I didn't do any of this, but I wanted to not be the old man, get off my lawn. So I was talking to one of the old timers that lives in this mountain on Index, and he claimed, and I haven't seen, I don't know if this is exactly true. He says 2 to 3 times a week, the Parks Department is called out to do a rescue on this hike. So the hike goes from the trailhead by Index, halfway up is Bridal Veil Falls, which is this 100 or foot or so waterfall that goes into a creek. It's very beautiful. And then if you continue up to the very top, it's another 2 to 3 miles to get to Lake Serene.
And that's difficult.
And there's some scrambling
Yeah.
and some of the, I forget what it's called, those rocks that are slidey that you slide around.
Screed. Yeah.
So it's not the easiest hike in the world.
Scrambling through the screen with Ron Upshaw. That could be your new YouTube channel.
And so he said 2 to 3 times a week that the parks have to come out and do rescues. So they do it in one of 2 ways. One is they'll drive up the logging roads to get as close to they can, and then they have 4-wheelers and stuff that'll bushwhack up. They get someone out and they bring them back down to the ambulance that they'll bring up that way. Second way, if they can't do that, and I do see this, a helicopter's flying in, so they'll bring a helicopter in, do a helicopter rescue, and they bring it out. And so the only reason I bring that up is because this does happen every year. Last year there was one death that I knew of someone that was thought he could play in the waterfall spillway, got sucked in, and the body was found about a week
that an
later.
Index?
That was an Index.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a horror.
And so there is
horrible.
some danger there. It's not hiking Discovery Park. It is a little bit more difficult than that.
That's a shot at Discovery Park.
And, so,
And all of us love it and adore it.
I love Discovery Park as well, but there's not a lot of helicopter rescues coming out of Discovery Park.
There are built-in stairs.
There are built-in stairs.
With handrails, yeah.
And so now you took a shot at Discovery Park.
Yeah.
So
I don't use the handrail, though.
So I'm going up, and I know I probably don't need it, but I brought my essentials.
You should. Bear spray?
Backpack. I had bear spray.
Yes.
I had my water. I had food. I had extra clothing.
You don't need it till you need it. Good
I
for
had
you.
a knife. I had first aid. I had a flashlight, even though it's the middle of the day. So I have my backpack.
Hey, if that bear spray doesn't work, you got a knife.
Exactly.
Not even joking.
And so Kanan has his backpack, and my girlfriend went. She had her backpack.
Everybody should have it.
So we have our backpacks.
Good for you guys.
And we're going up this trail.
Good for you guys.
And so I see, and we had just talked about the boomers before.
Boomers.
I see some alphas.
If you're not
going up there,
if you're not around young kids, they're really, and my son is a part of it. Like I.
What's up, boomer?
Hang on, because this is going to be worth it. I sent him a Tom Brady photo or a video the other day, and on the video, Tom Brady is talking about football and how you need to get up and give your GD best every day, even when you don't feel like it. So I sent it to my son, and he wrote, "This is Generation Alpha." Hang on, because he wrote back something. Hey, Dad, I love at first glance that you think that Tom Brady is just some tool and just some old, stupid quarterback with dumb hair plugs. Yet he has such a complex mindset and he puts his team before himself. Much respect to that boomer. That's like a real thing because people think I'm a boomer. Do they think you're a boomer?
I don't know. They might
come at me all the time. For
so
being a boomer.
I'm walking up here, and we had just talked about bear sighting. We talked about I know some of the stats of this stuff behind the scenes, and so there are alphas going up with a couple things. One, they're carrying wireless speakers, walking up a trail with a playlist playing, which I think someone on TikTok said that would keep bears away. So you see some people and they're carrying their speaker, walking up the trail, playing their playlist.
And also keep other hikers away.
Which I think is just distasteful.
That is distasteful.
Second thing, though, is I'm seeing a lot of kids that are just not prepared at all.
Not prepared, yeah.
I saw there was a younger girl. She had a bikini top on and a skirt, and she's got like bunny ears. Then she's walking up the trail.
I saw a lot of this in Iceland.
No, nothing. Like, I don't know if there's no food, no water.
Yeah.
No, so she's I don't know if she's planning on going all the way to the top or not, but that would be very difficult.
Probably going for a swim.
And so just a lot of alphas that if something went sideways, there's no preparation. And like the old timer that I was talking to was like, these kids in their flip flops got to get rescued by a helicopter. And I was going to mock him a little bit. I was like, and then I went on this hike. That could be true. Yeah. There could be 2 to 3 rescues happening.
So what are your thoughts?
So I guess my question is part of me wanted to just stop down with a couple of these, because you're passing on the trails. You have to stop and they go by you. And then you stop of just going, hey guys, are you familiar with the 10 essentials? Are you familiar with the guy that died last year? Do you care if something goes wrong, if you break an ankle or something?
Why didn't you do it? I think that's a good message.
I was like, I don't want to be the boomer why not? That is standing there lecturing these kids that aren't my kids.
Because when they call you a boomer, I know your age. You're not a boomer.
I'm not a boomer.
Then you go natty natty ha ha.
But should it not be their parents that are?
There's a couple of things going on
that are like saying, hey, you're going on a legit hike. Bring some water and food and a flashlight.
Number one, I don't know if that has anything to do with being alpha. I think that just has to do with being young. And the fact that you're prepared and over-prepared, good for you. Because on the day that you need it, you won't feel over-prepared. You'll like need that. And then also, there'll be other people that you'll have to help. So whenever I go on a trail run or go on a hike like that, or I do something very aggressive, I always not only bring stuff for me, but I bring stuff for the people that are along with us, and then also I bring stuff to help other people. And oftentimes,
I've had numerous times where I've had the only person that had a bandage or a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And someone ended up needing it to stop some bleeding.
In my life, I probably have. And I think this is going through Katrina, but I have all kinds of food supply, all kinds of water. I bet I have 15 emergency kits. Between my cars,
would you have
my
said
houses,
something?
I have an Airbnb that I just set up last night. Things sitting on the table. There's a brand new essential kit there because it's near Discovery Park where people are going to go play, and I want to make sure that they have all these essentials. Here's the thing, though, when it comes to the helicopter talk, a lot of all that rescue money. There's 2 things going on. One, a lot of the people that when it says rescue on your truck. You want to rescue. You want to rescue
I get that.
Someone. When you work at Joint Base Lewis McChord and you're out there flying around doing Army stuff or Air Force stuff, and then all of a sudden you get a call that you got to go rescue someone on Mount Rainier, that's what you want to do. That's what you train for.
No, I get it.
Think about SEAL Team 6.
Mount Rainier is different though, because if that's a prepared person that's going to summit.
They're not.
Could have the stuff. If this is
everyone that dies on Mount Rainier. 10,000 people try to summit every year. 3,000 people make it. 12 people die on that mountain. They don't die summiting because, to your point, they're prepared. Most of the people that go, they die between Paradise and Camp Muir. That's where they die. Because on a really nice day, they start going up to Camp Muir. They're dressed like you just talked about, and then boom, the weather rolls in, and it freaking kills them, right? It kills them. So the people that die, it's not Generation Alpha. It's just part of being young.
Because by the time I'm on the trail, if I speak up to one of these kids, they're going to roll their eyes. They're going to say, whatever, boomer. And then the only time I would get any sort of feedback is then the next time that
you don't know because you haven't done it.
The kid is rescued off the top.
Next time you go up there, I want you to do this. I want you see someone with water. I want you to offer them some water. Say, hey, man, I think it's really cool that you're hiking around here in my backyard. Welcome to it. And on that trail, because I've been on that trail, halfway up is not tedious. You get on the other side. If you're not prepared for that, you better have your essentials, because something simply could happen. So I think if you a gesture where you just hand someone some water and say, hey, I don't know if you've been on this trail before, and we've had some, and you just kind of inform instead of tell, I think people be open to that.
I was thinking my approach would be more like, get off my lawn, Alpha!
All right, more in a minute.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Ron and Don Show. Before we get out of here, let's talk hot dogs. Hot dog. It is July 4th, or around July 4th. And on July 4th, I like to have a good wiener, don't you?
I have a hot dog story with, I think, what you're going to bring up.
What do you got?
My brother and I went to New York.
Yes.
And I'm trying to plan the epic New York trip.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm going, all right, we're going to do the 9/11 Museum. We're going to go to where the Twin Tower Memorial is. We're going to see the Oculus, which is, the incredible building done by Santiago Calatrava that the sun comes through on 9/11 right through the skylight. I had thought about, let's go to Statue of Liberty. Maybe we go to Empire State Building. So I'm planning, and we're going to go to all these pizza places. And so my brother, who you've met, I'm like throwing all these incredible New York ideas out. And he says, I want to go to Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's like a 2-hour subway ride to get to Nathan's. Like, can we just pick like a hot dog stand? They're everywhere in Manhattan. He goes, no, it has to be Nathan's. I want to see where they do the competition. And so I'm like,
I like when your brother gets like that.
It's like, okay, dude, you don't want to go to the 9/11 Museum, but you do want to go to Nathan's. It's like, okay, fine.
You know what? He's served his country. He's been to war. Maybe he doesn't want to see anything else that's sad. He just wants a damn hot dog, Ron.
So we get in the subway. You got to take the subway all the way out of the city, transfer to a different line.
Is this when you guys went to Mike's Chili Bowl, or is this a different
No,
trip?
that's in D.C.
Okay.
And then we go, he didn't want
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Ben's Chili Bowl's in D.C.
Yeah.
So we it takes us a little over 2 hours to get
and
there.
this is separate than when you guys were chasing down pizza, the best
No,
pizza.
this is on the pizza trip.
This is on the pizza. You diverted to a hot dog?
We went 2 hours each way.
I got to talk to Rob about this.
To get to Nathan's Hot Dog.
I just lost respect for your bro. You were going for the world's best pizza.
Exactly.
You got to stay on the pizza.
He said too much pizza. He wanted to get a hot dog.
Send this to Rob. Rob, what were you thinking? Pizza? You got to stay on the pizza trail, and then all of a sudden you divert with a hot dog? I have no respect for that.
So we get to Nathan's.
Yes.
We stand in line.
Are those boiled hot dogs?
They can do grilled there as well.
Thank God.
And so we get he goes, I want the regular competition hot dog. And so
that's a boiled hot dog, and then you take the bun and you stick it in water.
You've met my brother.
I know.
So we get to competition, and so I'm like, well, I've come all this way. I might as well get. It's like I'm going to get the most deluxe hot dog they have, because that's my personality.
Yeah.
So I got the Nathan's Deluxe with chili and onion, like the whole nine.
Yeah.
And so by the time I get my food, we go out there. My brother is interrogating the guy that cleans up the parking lot.
Love it.
Where's the stage go?
Yeah.
And where does the, how do they bring the hot? And the guy, like.
It's great, man. He likes to know how things work.
Right.
But so do you.
I know, but like, he's like, I watch it every year on TV. And so he's going to deep dive on how the thing's set up, where it is.
How is it set up? And where does the stage
and,
go? And
we're right next to this really rickety amusement park. On
Coney
the water,
Coney
Island, I think.
Yeah.
And it was interesting in air quotes.
I'm gonna have to call him because I find this very interesting.
Oh yeah, so he got the whole rundown.
Yeah.
Ate his competition hot dog, and then doesn't want to do anything else.
He's done.
So like, I'm like, do you want to go to the amusement park? Nope.
Nope.
Do you want to do anything else in Coney Island? No. So we.
If you asked him if you want to go have a 12 Coors Lights, He would say yep.
Then we went right back to the subway station, did another 2 hours back to, so it was a total of like a 5-hour trip to eat a hot dog.
You know, he peaks at night though. I remember when we were all traveling together and we were, I think, were we in a flat in London? Is that where we were? We were staying in this flat, an Airbnb. 3:30 in the morning, he comes into my room with just his tighty whities on, and he has a beer in his hand. And I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" I said, "Well, I'm not. I don't really drink much these days."
You want a Nathan's hot dog?
He goes, "You know what?" He goes, because we were on our way to Normandy. He goes, "I was just reading some stuff about Normandy. I got a couple things to say. You want to hear them?" I'm like, "Yeah."
We're both up.
Comes in, he's got his beer, his tighty whities on. He sits down. We talked about Normandy. It's the most amazing middle of the night important discussion I've ever had with one of my best friends, grown ass brothers, in London on a flat.
There's a lot of caveats to that. So Nathan's hot dog, pretty good hot dog. It's not as good as a Seattle dog, in my opinion, but that's what I got.
If people haven't had the Seattle dog, do you consider the Seattle dog the dog that you buy and you get when you walk out of a Mariner game and people are set up there with their small, tiny grills?
I'm not going to get it out of a Mariner game.
On the outside of the Mariner
I know. If I'm going...
That's not a Seattle dog to you.
It is a Seattle dog. I'm just not going to do. That's not when I do it.
When do you do it?
I would, because I want to get in and out of the stadium with some efficiency.
Or do you go to Belltown?
I would do it a Seattle dog if I'm out and about and it's after like 10 p.m. and you're walking on a summer night and you see the
what makes it a Seattle dog? Is it cream cheese?
Cream cheese. Yeah. The cream cheese makes it a Seattle dog.
Okay,
and it's great.
What do you think of a Chicago dog?
I love a Chicago dog.
What do you like about? Do you like the peppers?
I like the.
Do you like the texture of the bun, the poppy seed?
The poppy seed bun, and then there was like the gardeniera.
Yes.
Gardeniera. Yeah. What? How do you pronounce that word?
Gardeniero.
No, it's like this mixture of gardenier. It's just like it's a topping. Yeah. With like peppers and onions, and it's all chopped up in vinegar.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
It's like the
gardenier.
When you're in New Orleans, it's like, what do they call the
muffalata?
No.
It's similar to a muffalata.
It is similar. Yeah. Anyway, I have to say, the Nathan dog boiled looks horrible to me. Thank God they grill them. I like a grilled bratwurst, a sausage dog. The Chicago dog is phenomenal, and I will leave a Mariner game early just to get out there before they run out of the Seattle dog. And if you've never had one,
Seattle dog's great.
And it's the ones that are being made outside the stadium where they set up their little grills.
Bang for your buck, though. It's hard to beat the Costco footlong with a beverage for $1.50.
I'm not looking for a bang or a buck. I'm looking for a great dog, and that is not a great dog.
It's pretty good for $1.50.
It's not
for $1.50, it's great.
When we lived in Grand Rapids, the best hot dog is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Do you remember the hot dog place?
Oh, was it the place where they did American Pie?
Yes.
I don't know the name of it, but it was a good dog.
It's called a Yesterdog.
Yesterdog. Yesterdog was a good dog.
And there's a lot of relish going on in the Yesterdog, which I'm all about the relish. I love the relish. It's one of those places you go where after you've been out night clubbing in Grand Rapids, I think we lived there for we lived there for 9 months. We were waiting to get transferred to New Orleans. The people there... Because there's nothing to do in the wintertime except snowmobile. So we went and got a couple snowmobiles and then go out and eat Yesterdogs. I wasn't sure if the Yesterdog was actually that great because usually there was some drinking going on before we showed up at 2 a.m. and you can eat Yesterdog. And then people order like 12 of them at a time, right? My son has some relatives that are from Grand Rapids. He recently went back and I said, "How was Grand Rapids?" He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "I've just had the best hot dog in the world." And I said, "Don't tell me." I said, "What was it?" He goes, "I just ate 8 Yesterdogs." And I'm
That's
like,
8 of them.
That is the dog. Yeah.
Go to Ben's Chili Bowl in Washington, D.C. for their half and half.
Yeah.
That's right up there.
Mike's Chili Bowl in Ballard, not so much. I went there the other day because I went to, we'll finish with this. I went to Les Schwab and I was getting my tires worked on. I don't know, have you heard of Les Schwab?
I have. Title sponsor of the Ron and Don Show.
Yeah, so I'm over there. Ed's working on my, so I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to Trader Joe's there on Food Drive and buy some food, throw it in the box. And then I've never been to Mike's Chili Bowl. They've built everything around in Ballard, around Edith's old place that they call the Up House. Yeah, and then they have Mike's Chili Bowl, and it's like... Have you been to it? And
Mike's
had the chili bowl?
Parlor.
It's the worst chili I've ever had.
Was it not good? I was going to stop in and try it
I
sometime.
went in there. There's probably 12 alcoholics because a friend of mine, he said, if you got a bar, you just keep it open during the day. You need about 9 good alcoholics to keep it open. They had 12 in there. So I went in there and ordered some water and a chili bowl. And so the chili comes out, and then it looks like they chopped up some American cheese and threw it on top. It tastes like American cheese. It's not melted at all. And then chopped up tons of it too. And I love a good onion. And it wasn't a yellow onion. It was a white onion, a chopped up white onion on top of the chili. You might like it because it's in like a paper bowl. And so I couldn't finish it, and I almost couldn't start it. It smelled horrific, and it tasted worse.
I'm going to go try it out.
Yeah. Anyway. Matt, before we go, anything on the hot dog?
I'm with you. The bratwurst is the way.
The bratwurst. You can never go wrong with a bratwurst.
Diced onions, diced tomatoes, and diced pickles.
That sounds good.
Tomatoes on a bratwurst?
No ketchup. You just diced tomatoes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Where were you born? In a whorehouse? I mean, where do you come up with a dog like that?
Just making them.
Yeah. All right. Bratwurst. Hey, if you have some good ideas about the best hot dog around the 4th of July, look us up. DM us. I'm Don O'Neill. He's Ron Upshaw on Facebook. Hey, Ron, let's check the clock on the wall. Looks like it's time to get out of here once again.
Yeah, if you are looking to do a real estate transaction.
Ron was looking around for the clock on the wall, and we don't have a clock
what?
on the wall. He's like, we added a clock? Where's the...
You guys have got to start coming to rehearsals.
RonandDonSitDown.com. Buyers, sellers, investors.
It's right here on the script.
Look at the fake clock.
Well, Ron.
All right.
The old clock on the wall.
We've done almost 900 episodes, and you always do the out.
The hands are
You never
two
throw
and
it to
10.
me on the clock.
I know, but I threw it to Matt. 'cause I
Only,
knew Matt wouldn't have a lot to say.
only
which
on the Run On Radio
makes it even
Network.
better for me when I go back and listen to it. I did that just for me.
All right.
We ready to go?
Yep, only on the Run On Network.
The
Keep your head up,
clock on
shoulders
the
back.
wall says it's time to go, Ron. Take it away.
You've been listening to the Ron and Don Show only on the Ron and
you
Don
didn't
Radio
say, hey, we do
Network.
sit down.
I already said that.
News Nation.
I already said that.
No, not News Nation. Not news. That's a
You've
news
been,
network.
you've
Nobody
been listening to the Ron and Don Show only on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Is that it?
That's it.
You say sit down, Ron?
I said no.
Okay. Mike's Chili Bowl?
Parlor.
Parlor. Goodbye.
Look at the camera.
You've been listening to Ron and Don Show all night!
Oh my God.
Did you say thanks for allowing us to be your broadcasters, your friends, and your prayer partners?
Did you say
Sorry,
we
that's
sell the
Jim Baker,
sound?
TVL, 1985. I could have been him. I would have made millions. We interviewed Tammy Faye one day when she had the cancer.
Goodbye.
Boy, was it rough.
Just, all right. See ya.
All right. You've been listening to Ron Don Show. All right. Ron Don Radio Network. Thank Charlie, Matt, Grace, Ron Don.
Hey, it's G-Force O'Neill. Thanks for listening to my dad and his boyhood friend, Mr. Ron.